Welcome to Moonlight Truth Studios. I am Mama So. I am dressed in my Earth and Hollow of Christelle for my other channel, Soulful Harvest Homestead, because I'm working in between and I'm sitting down to take a break. And I really kind of wanted to get a little energy check to see with the grizzly bear, because how I woke up today was like the old original me that was within a level of trauma. And I could feel it, and it expressed itself as well. There's some dirt that my son can get to fill that hole. My bad. Because we're getting ready to take a compost out of the ground and we're going to bring it over here to where the other compost station is. So that way everything can get mixed and turned all at the same time, instead of having to come from over here to go all the way on the other side of the yard and having to get different tools as well to compensate. Anywho. So, and I really felt that itch. And so I ended up speaking with my sister on the phone. And as I was speaking to her on the phone, I was hearing that inner part of the self, of the original self that was acting within its trauma or acting and moving within karma, or, just conditions and influences, right? That this is its last hurrah. It's its last, shindig. So I was telling my sister, and just let her live. Just let her have her moment. Just let him have its moment, or her, okay? Just don't allow it to become belligerent. Don't let it go back to those same ways or ways in how things were approached or how things were reactive, but to bring it more into reason and focus, to where you can actually be the observer and the witness at the same time within moment. And because that part of us, of ourselves, of the original selves of trauma, pain, or whatever, those that have truly been doing the work. So it's like you have a stage, and on the stage, every seat that's on the stage is designated to a particular people. The high-ranking people, like the king and the queen, they're going to sit in, they're going to sit in the center, and everybody else is going to sit. So it's like, now that the egoic part of trauma self has been sitting in those two seats where they didn't belong, now they know where they need to go, okay, in the physical body and how we come forward and approach. So, because the queen and the king is our masculine and feminine principles inside of us, right? So it's been ruling in that seat. And so now it knows that it's on its last hurrah. Let it be present, but know that it's coming to sit down where it belongs. And that it's not going to, it's still of need, it still needs to be within service, but knowing when to call, when the king and the queen has to call upon it to come forward, to come and present for a particular situation or a particular life situation that we may come across or have to deal with. And if I seem like I'm yelling, it's because it's windy, I don't have a microphone, and boom. So that was definitely something within that feeling of annoyance, that feeling of zero tolerance, that feeling of enough is enough. There's nothing left here. But in the observation today with my grizzly bear, or my she demon, or my bitch, I call her sometimes, I have come to observe today that she is filled more with compassion. Okay? I can see how that pain and that trauma and what I have been carrying, and I have been working through the shadows with, and have been healing those areas, and have been decluttering and creating energetic space. I've observed that that part is having now more compassion, which means it's coming more into light energy, higher frequencies, okay, higher vibrations. Because that part of the pain and trauma of me had to come to the acceptance of the demotion. That it's now time for the higher self to step and be forward within motion. So a lot within the collective, you're going to have your spotlight. You're going to have your moment. And allow yourself to have that moment. Don't beat yourself up when it comes. And observe the self, because you're going to see something different within that energy vibration. Because that is now where that part has ascended. That part has become enlightened. That part has come to understand that it is loved no matter what. It is accepted. Those darknesses, those pains, that trauma is now accepted for what it is. It is accepted through seeing how it has seasoned us, how it has cultivated us, how it has caused us to become more determined and more resilient within what it is that our life presents and what it is that we do personally within our everyday life. I don't care where you are, whether you're in corporate America, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whether you're an entrepreneur, it does not matter. Whether you're a grandma, it don't matter. One moment. My apologies, that flow was broken due to a call coming through that I needed to take. And I took advantage of going to go get me some nice water with a ice cube that I made with celery, cucumber, apple, and lemon. And then I added more water to it, and then I froze them off. And I got that here in my water. So that, I guess, is the first session. But really paying attention to that energy. So yeah, it's been a minute since I'm coming back. So yeah, I'm sitting back down, taking a break. I have my daughter doing her chores to help me out and keeping everything watered, you know. But now I feel like I kind of want to pull some cards, because it's like we're letting go of. It's like that grizzly bear, it's that Tasmanian devil, it's that mental original self, black butterfly, original self of that pain and trauma. But it's also still those that have been working on it and those that have not. But this is more of them coming to the awareness of themselves and how they're actually been projecting. This is the shift that they're actually going to be coming into, whereas the others, such as me and those that's really been doing the work, you know, we're now going to another height, another dimension, a different reality within our mental shift, because of the levels of emotional maturity and mental maturity as well, which is a state of consciousness. But those that you're coming to the awareness. So I'm going to give an example to my life, maybe 7 years ago. Yeah, when I came to this true awareness. And to give you an example in how to identify within yourself, there's actually two situations, but the most important one I feel that the divine feels is the one that came around me and my mother, the trauma and the pain around my mother, and because she was my mother and my father, she was a strong influence within my conditioning. And one day I was yelling at the children, and I was like, whoa, and I called out my mother's name. I was like, hold up, you know, when I really came to that awareness, and like taking a little molehill and turning it into a huge ass mountain, like fast, like from this exhalation all the way up through the roof, you know, like fast, you know. And so as I came to those awarenesses, it, you know, started checking in with my heart to where, like, dang, like, okay, is that how my daughters or how my sons, like, whoa, like, acknowledging now, seeing like some of the shit that I did in their conditionings, you know, like, anyways, that's a whole nother subject. But that's an example in identifying. Or like there was someone I used to say to them all the time, like, why do you always procrastinate? Why are you always procrastinating? Come here. Alignment, divine timing, like, because my daughter's calling me because she ran into an issue, and the water hose that's connected to the faucet, right at the hose, yes, it can be repaired and everything, and it's completely disconnected from the from the piece, yeah, the female piece. And I tomorrow I will actually have another water hose showing up, so that's alignment, that's divine timing, right? But this water hose is still good because I'm going to end up using that one for my water catching system. But anywho's, this is not Soil for Harvest Homestead, but yeah, we are in the environment of it, so you're going to get some of that in these type of messages, period, because I delegate so I can have me breaks. Okay, and when I delegate, that's when I take my break. Okay, all right. But the example, the procrastination. Yeah, and I used to be like, why you always procrastinating? Like, you always taking your sweet ass time. Da 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 da. You only move when it benefits you. Da 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 da. When that awareness came, and my team came in and was like, and who are you to talk about them? Loud. Who are you? Look at where you're procrastinating, where you're not doing. Yeah, you're a physical doer. When you say you want to do something, you try to keep up with it and keep it going. But what have you been doing spiritually? Talking about as far as when I had Mama Soul Lily's Tarot and Beyond at that point in my life, and they like, you need to show up. You need to do what you need to do, Okay? So those are ways, just my life examples, to help you understand when those moments come. Okay? I be thinking the insy bitsy spot. Come on, fly. Yeah, I'm a hot mess out here, y'all. I got big head all day, okay? But that's a little too much, Divine. That's a little too much right now. But yeah, I do desire that Mama Soul is really making sense here. But there's still a caution within the wind. This caution, remember, a caution does not necessarily mean a negative, people. A caution, a warning. Because everything has a light and the dark. Everything has duality. There's no separation of it. 3D dimensions are separated within these energies. They do not belong separated. They go together. So caution can be a positive caution to look out for the benefits of, or the destructive parts, degenerative parts of it. The peace or the destruction. This is warning. This is caution. We can discern and tap in how the outcome is going to be all through the emotional and mental maturity. Supreme, creative source, ancient of the ancient ancestors of our highest good and highest vibration. What is it that we within the collective individuals need to see, hear, or know within this energy at this time? Ashe, amen. That's why they wanted that sun. Spotlight. Fortune. Leo. Sun. Creative. Rulership. Good fortune. Fame. Spotlight. No longer in the shadows, in the dark. Those areas coming forward. You hear? Those areas of our pain and our trauma, our manipulations, our areas of arrogance, our areas and times of confusion, our times and moments in over people pleasing or over giving of ourselves and never receiving back. The misfortunes and the fortunes that are ahead through us facing the things that stand between us and our soul. That's the conditionings, the trauma, the pain, all of that. Not knowing thyself. This is knowing thyself. There's a sense of a great achievement for those that have been doing the work. And those that are coming to understand, to come to do the work, you're still going to have fortunate events, life-changing events, because it's on 5. Leo rules the 5th house energy, okay? Around children, around celebrities. Change the 5 senses within the 6th sense. Because the 6th sense is the one that you got to come in to tap into, to come into that awareness of it, which is on the other side of the soul, and everything that's on the pathway that's in your way. My device is getting too warm. I do desire that I'm heard here. I do not need my phone to overheat. I am directly in the sun, and the sun is beating on the other side. So do take what connects with you within this message at this time. Today's date is Friday, which is Venus Day. Okay? The negative and the positive effects that we each experience differently on Friday, the 17th of April. And until next time, my beautiful souls, I am Mama So.